Hi, Mark Reed, founder and CEO of InterfereX. It's great to see Pat talking about congestion. We've got a different sort of congestion we're solving. We're solving internet video transport congestion. So we're going to be talking about over-the-top video experience for users and trying to improve that. So who is the team within InterfereX? We're a bunch of telecom veterans, 20 years each between us. We've sold companies to Broadcom, to Cisco, to Outerwall, and taken companies from founding to IPO. Coming from the wireless area traditionally, but also working in internet space. We've got a team of 4 software engineers with PhDs in our team and a couple of patents taken out on our technology. So the challenge of over-the-top video delivery is all about delivering that great user experience to the end user. But as the previous speaker talked about, congestion occurs in the network in this case. And there's lots of analogies with traffic, actually. It's interesting. So you're using a shared medium here. This medium is not just your private medium, it's shared with others. And how do you get that real TV-like experience, that fantastic, always-on experience to that end user when you don't really control it? As a content owner, you don't control the networks that your traffic is going over, and you don't know when network congestion is going to occur over different networks there, the CDNs, the access points, etc. And this is what it looks like to the end user. You get pixelation, you get buffering occurs, you get retry requests, and this is all real stuff that's occurred on networks in the recent days and weeks. So poor quality, playback errors, etc. So the way that it operates is basically it's a single path delivery mechanism. This is kind of how the internet was designed. It was trying to find the best route from A to B and try to deliver your content from the origin all the way to your end user, which is either a smart TV, it could be a smartphone or a set-top box in your home. And this single path is the problem. There's no redundancy. So you could view this as a single road in the country where there's a road work going on and suddenly you're blocked. You can't pass through that road until you're allowed to. So you're blocked and you're buffered. In this case, buffering occurs and low quality video occurs. So just like a single lane road is a problem, multiple lane roads help that, and that's what freeways are all about, opening up more lanes, letting more traffic through that path, and that's what we do. We have a technology to enable parallel path internet delivery for video. And how we do that is 2 pieces of software. One at the origin server that allows us to split the data across those paths, and another one, our magic, in how we stitch it all back together within the player, within the actual smartphone or set-top box or smart TV, just before the video player notices it. It's completely transparent to that video player. They don't even know we're there. We're just opening the pipe and making that data channel much bigger, allowing more bits through, and we use all the bits from those 3 paths simultaneously. We use every bit we can. There's no duplicate packets in there. So seamlessly stitching the data back together in the client is really the trick about this. And so what we're trying to do here is get a higher data rate. And what the users have seen is we can, for network congested users, we can increase the performance for 80% of those, on average doubling the throughput, but up to even 5 times the throughput using this technique. So what does the market look like? The OTT market is about to double by 2020, and we've got a great bunch of different applications in this area. We're focusing at the moment on video on demand and live streaming, which we have working for both iOS, Android, and browser platforms. There's also advertising delivery. So, you've been looking at a video and suddenly an ad pops up, but it doesn't pop up. There's this kind of spinning dial there again because the ad comes from a different source. There's all sorts of issues with ad delivery. And if ads don't complete, they're not monetized. No one gets paid. So advertising delivery is very important and interesting. And then the final one is cloud gaming, whereby the game is now played in the cloud and you're getting a video stream to your home. This is a very challenging environment, but again, our parallel path delivery can work really well in that environment. So what's the go-to-market look like? We're typically going to be talking to people like content owners like Disney or Warner Brothers or the like to utilize our technology within their content. We're talking to platform delivery services, for example, Amazon Instant Video or Vudu or these sort of examples. And those guys have the solutions that end up with the home users that utilize our technology. We're trying to put the Ferrari engine within the Volkswagen, essentially, to make more bits being transported over these links. The business model, licensing, and SaaS are the two main approaches. We've done a massive trial across the country, hundreds of users, hundreds of tests, Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, to understand how this works in real homes, on real networks, with real connections. And the results are in. And what we actually found was we can make sure that users achieve 4K 40% of the time compared to only 13% of the time with a regular connection. In fact, actually 90% of users will achieve full HD 1080p or above as opposed to 30%. So a really huge improvement in quality that's just totally controlled by the player, nothing else. We've got partner engagements with these guys. We're just about to sign a significant $200,000 paid trial, and we're looking at a first deployment in the next quarter. So in summary, the future network demands are growing. In fact, the demands are growing faster than the supply. And 4K, for example, is 9 times more bits, 9 times more data than standard definition. We enable high data rates, better quality, and a great experience. And I'd love to talk to you about partnerships or investment. Thank you.